Hi, and welcome to Zero BI live product demo. My name is Matej, and I'm a customer support team lead with background in absolutely nothing that you see here that is written, but I always had an interest for business intelligence and data visualization and data analysis, as many of you, I'm sure, have. So helping companies to simplify complex reporting and turn data into meaningful business insights was an easy step for me. So now that you got to know me, I also would like to get to know you. And I have Mattia in the background, who will run a poll for you. So I just stop sharing, and so here you can choose what's your role. Either it's finance or BI. IT or executive even, or any other, which you can specify in the chat. So this will help me be a better presenter for you today. So I'll adapt my demo a little bit for you. And let's see what the results are. Okay, so we have finance and controlling, we have BI data analysis, so it's quite even here. Some executives, so welcome and thank you for making time for this. I know you're super busy. Okay, nobody from IT and developers, they don't care. That's fine as well. But yeah, that's it. So we have some others, yeah, but mostly finance and BI, which is good. Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's okay. I'll adapt the presentation a little bit, and let me share my screen again. Like this. Okay, now where was I? Good. So now that I got to know you, let's have a look at the agenda for today. So first, a little bit of introduction to actionable reporting and Zero BI, followed by the live demo session and an extensive Q&A session at the end. So I always like these demos to be more of a conversation than a demonstration. So please say hi in chat and write your messages in chat. Mattia in the background will get those questions to Q&A and we'll answer them at the end. Okay, good. I was asking you questions before about your job. Now I will ask you another question. And that question might be a little bit unusual, but it's a very essential one. So, and the question is, how long is your action distance? Every company is a data company today. And if you're not taking actions driven by data, then you'll probably be left behind by the competition. So the question is, how long does it take you to get from data to insights when you first look at the report to taking action? Because that's what saves you money and that's what makes money in the end, right? Those fast actions, but you need a basis for that action, and that will come from actionable reporting. So you can write in a chat how long does it take when you notice something in your report for somebody in the company to take action? So this can be, quite a while, usually. So here's the issue. If your P&L in Power BI looks like this, then we probably have a little bit problem, or you have a problem, because how are you going to make a right action and a decision based on basically a data dump? I guess a bit here, so everybody here probably had this big digital transformation project in the past, and it probably span over multiple months or multiple even years. And the goal was to take all of the Excel reports and turn it into Power BI. And a lot of people probably spent years building and maintaining those reports, which had all those or these nice looking, but let's face it, completely useless 3D pie charts and mismatched graphics and so on. So there were reports, but could you take some actions from it? And taking that P&L report in Excel that we've all seen, right? And we all had, it probably was named the version 957 or something like that. So it has analyst version. And then you probably try to build something or even rebuild something of the same, basically the same report in Power BI, right? Which just looks something like this. So you didn't actually change anything. You didn't put any a step forward the actionable reporting. You changed platforms, and that was it, right? So it's like putting a lipstick on a pig, they say. And of course, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying Excel is bad and it doesn't have its place anymore. It absolutely does. I'm simply saying that, of course, in 2025, you deserve better reports with actual insights. Okay, and how to achieve that? With Zebra BI for Power BI, and of course with cross-platform experience that we offer with Zebra BI for Office, because as I said, there is a place for Excel still. And while we're at it, why not leverage a bit of AI as well? And yeah, let's maybe take a look at how or what the proper report should look like. So this is a sale report. You probably all, this is a finance report. You probably all seen one, and we'll try to create it later on in the demo. And this is a sales dashboard. You probably all seen one, but I'm not sure if you use Zebra BI or you use native Power BI visuals, or was it actionable? Okay, so we're gonna run another poll. And let's see how familiar you are with Zebra BI. That's also going to help me with deciding how deep in settings and everything else should I go. Okay, somebody's using a free version, paid subscription, currently in a free trial. Haven't used Zebra BI yet. Okay, a lot of votes for that. Okay, just gonna hold on for another 10 seconds or so. Okay, pretty even between paid subscription. You're probably at the very beginning of your Zebra BI journey and try to leverage these demos to have to get something to see something new and get some idea how to continue. Then haven't used Zebra BI. So you guys will follow directly after the first guys after this demo is over. Okay, perfect. Okay, let's switch it off. Thank you, Mattia. And I'll take, I'll share my screen again. Just bear with me for a second. Okay, so I promised you a sales report, right? Good. It should look something like this. Okay, and we'll try to replicate it in about 2 minutes. Okay, let's get to our watches out, and then let's time 2 minutes and see if I can make it. Good. Okay, from a little bit of theory first. In the countries where we read from left to right, there is a distinctive pattern your eyes go, and it's the same way you read books. You go from left to right, and then you go down, and then again from left to right. So in the same essence, you will read your reports. So it's really important how to structure your reports and what to have, where some elements of the reports are placed. And we'll start off with Zebra BI cards. So this is the one element that usually have the higher level KPIs inside. Okay. So what I'll do here is just add let's do a C, and so my actuals, of course, and I will add my planned data. But before I do that, you're probably familiar with Zebra BI, the Power BI native visuals, right? And when I'll switch to the cars visual right now, native Power BI, and that is basically the same thing, right? But if I try to add different elements, it just switches. It doesn't allow me to add different measures and so on. Yes, of course, it is possible. The cards became a powerful visual with help with a little bit of development and so on, but who has time for that, right? And if you're not a BI developer, you wouldn't know that. So with Zebra BI, let me switch back. This is just the beginning of your journey. Okay, I'll add a plan. Oops, sorry. And as soon as I do that, I have my actuals, I have my plan. I can switch the variance from relative and absolute to displaying all of them, and even show what was happening in previous year. Okay, I have chart to help me visualize the difference. So it's a really nice tool. Now, I was talking about KPIs. So I'll add, and you see this group here, I'll add this KPI field to the group. Okay, so as soon as I do that, I get all my most important information. I have my chart here, and all of the Zebra BI visuals are they automatically adapt to the size of the canvas or the size of the visual. So the more space they have, the more data or details they will show. So, and I will show you that by, adding a, oops, I had this in plan. Okay, I'll just switch it and I will add previous year. So again, you can see we can just add details. Good. I will not go into a lot of settings today because we don't have that much time. But I'll just get a few. I'll just show a few, and for everything else, there is a knowledge base and there is a support email when you can write, and I will happily answer your questions. But yeah, the knowledge base is really important, and most of the information can be found there. I will get, so Mattia will probably paste a link to that knowledge base right away, so you can have a look. But continue with our cards. Okay, so what do I see here? So cost usually. We should invert that. So cost higher the cost. If the costs are higher than previous year in plan, it's a bad KPI, right? So it's not a good thing. So that's why you can go into focus mode and just invert it, and then we'll have it inverted. So it means those bad costs rose from previous year and plan. And then we have gross margin. Again, we can go to focus mode and just choose a percentage, and we'll have this in percentage. So no problem there. Okay, good. Was it 2 minutes? Probably it was more because I talk a lot, but that's the purpose of demo, right? Okay, so yeah, we have this charts here. We can switch it off. Just go to the settings and switch it off. So press charts, and then we're left with nice looking cards with scaled size icons. Okay, so you'll know exactly how this variance here correlates to the variance from revenue. Okay, so you see that scaled icon, so you'll see right away if it's important, if you should look at this, if you should take action from this or not. I see these cost icons are really are quite big. So yes, there is something happening there, and let's try to figure out why. What's happening? Okay, so that's the cards visual. Continuing maybe with the charts visual. I'll add it here. Okay, let's make it this big, and I'll continue with the same thing that I've added before. So AC, absolutely essential, and I go with previous year, and I'll go with plan. Okay, so we have now 3 measures in here, and if you would notice, if I make this bigger, sorry, I'll add categories. So we'll get a little bit more information. And what should I add here? So horizontal charts are usually reserved for time series. So I'll just add my month here to categories. Okay. And let's see what we get. So I already have some filters here. I have 2021 chosen. So this is filtered to 2021. But I wanted to show you different chart types. So in other visuals, you probably have and in Power BI, you have different visuals for different chart types. So if I choose one, doesn't matter which one, you'll get one chart. Now back to Zebra BI, if I switch from one to another, there is a arrow here, and you can just switch from one chart type to another. And each chart type has its place. So what we did, and Mattia will paste a link here, we have a chart selector on the website, so you'll know exactly what each chart type is meant for, okay? Because not everything is for everything. Okay, so you can switch from you can switch between different chart types and also choose how much information would you like to have in a visual. So if I make this bigger, you will get the actuals, you will get the plans behind it, you will get the previous year, and that you don't even have to see the number, right? You see the actuals number, for instance, here, but if I see this arrow here, this is previous year. And why was February so much lower than previous year, right? We also have the variance from previous year and relative and absolute and relative. So those visual cues are really important. We went from sheer numbers to basically a visual cue. So to what you should look at and dive a little bit deeper what was happening at the time. So what was happening in February? Why were we below previous year? Why were we below plan? And also on the other side, why were we up in October, right, from previous year, or a lot of above plan in November? Okay, so that's the thing you should look like, and that's the essence of actionable reporting. Okay, once we have that, let's dive even deeper, I guess, with Zebra BI tables. I'll add it here, and I'll add the same measures. So actuals previous year, and now I'll go with the business unit. So we'll break it down even more. Okay, so we'll know exactly what is happening with specific business units. And of course, all three Zebra BI visuals, you can cross filter them. So if you want to focus on revenue alone, you can do that by clicking on card, and other visuals will adapt to it, right? So, okay, let's have a look at revenue, for instance. Okay, some good months, some bad months, but let's have a look at business units. So what was good in previous year? Let's see. Okay, what was bad? That skin baby care was okay, from really good year to almost non-existent. So we'll click that. And now we go, okay, so what's going on in February? Let's have a look. Tell your guys what's going on. What went wrong in February? Let's fix it next year. Okay. And that's it. It's pretty simple, basically. Actionable reporting, you can take actions from this report, but it's really important that in the first 20 seconds that you look at a report, you know what went wrong and why it went wrong or what went good. Okay. In addition to that, of course, if you want to dive deeper, you can, of course, with drill through and drill down and so on with different visuals. But we also have comments. Well, that's another feature that we have, which is really nice. And probably I'll add it to my charts visual. Okay, comments. Let's put it in the comments placeholder, and there we go. That's your reason, right? So if we go to cost. So total cost growing due to increased prices of raw materials, especially electronic parts. And so you can have that reason, right? You don't even have to guess. You don't have to tell you don't have to tell anybody, okay, what went wrong. You can see right away from the comments, this was wrong. This is what went wrong. Good. So comments, really important. If you want to do a ad hoc comments, you can do that. So some comments come from the data model, and some comments you can add directly on the visual. You can do that in tables or in charts. So you can, if you click this icon here, add a comment and put it on any data point you would like. And let's put it on February. And let's see, okay, what went wrong in February? Okay, and that's a comment that everybody will see. No need to go to the data, to the data warehouse and add the comments. You can add it directly on the visuals. Okay, that's it. Okay, I've been talking for 20 minutes now. Time for a break, probably. Mattia, do we have any questions regarding this? Maybe you can put something on the screen. I'll just wait about 20 seconds. Okay, how did you get the data into the visuals? Okay, or into Power BI. So multiple ways. I'll answer both. This is a import mode, and by the way, import mode is the way to go. So import your data into Power BI. It will make performance a lot faster. But if you're talking about comments, so the third comment, I've directly put it in the added to the visual. Otherwise, they're in the data model. So you have a comment table, and this is tied to a specific date. And I have added the data here. Now that said, of course, data modeling is 95% of everything in everything in Power BI. So you will need to have your data prepared, and that's why again I will reference the knowledge base again. Probably Mattia already pasted the link. And you can see the data modeling instructions there. So we have an extensive guides on how to properly do things in Power BI, so you won't get caught in some weird situation that you can be if your data is not how it should be. Especially star schema, that's important. Especially the tables, which should be really long and not wide. That is really, really important and basis for data modeling. So long tables, not wide tables. Okay, good. Mattia, do we have another question here or no? Okay, we do. This chart is like DANEP with Vega or is pure JavaScript? Okay, really technical question. Thank you for that. We don't have many of that. It's JavaScript. Yeah, it's JavaScript. It's not. So DANEP is a really nice tool. You can build visuals on the spot. But yeah, this is our own product without DANEP. And actually, the creator of DANEP was an employee of Zero PI for a while last year. So there's quite a bit of collaboration there. Good. Any other questions? How can we get client to be able to see these visuals? Do they need a license too, or how this work? In my case, I work in consultancy. So, okay. So if you work in consultancy, there's you have your client's data and you probably build reports for them. The rule is each customer or the end user needs their license, okay, commercially speaking. And you as a partner, you can also partner with us. We have a nice partner program which you can enter. You get your own license, and then when the customer get the report, they should have their own license embedded in the reports. But probably if you're asking how, you are probably, as a consulting company, you probably have access to their workspace in Power BI service, and then you just publish the reports there. Probably, I'm guessing, but that's a general response. Okay, good. Any other questions? And thank you. And by the way, thank you for the questions. It makes this a lot easier. The comment which you have entered is from Dasco, but if the user wants to place comments which viewing the report in service, how is that possible? That's a very good question, and I was just about to say that. For now, it's not possible. Oh, sorry, let me rephrase. So viewing the report, so adding the report in Power BI service is possible, but the viewer needs to have the edit mode. Okay. Otherwise, it's not possible to add basically anything to the visual. Nothing can be saved to the visual if you don't have edit mode. And that is something that a lot of our customers are looking for. So adding the feature to allow viewers to add comments will eventually get to that. It's basically in the development process. We have some, we'll have to deal with some things with Microsoft and so on, so it's not easy. But yes, we know that is the end goal with the customers, and that is the end goal with the with us as well. Okay, good. Any other questions? They keep on coming, which is good. No other questions. Okay, so that was a sales report. Good. And let me switch to financial statements. Now, again, data preparation is everything here. So I've prepared a visual here, which is basically this one. Okay, the one that you've seen before. And what I'll do now is just add elements to the visual to see how easy it is to prepare everything. So to create a report, if you have everything prepared in the background, and like I said, 95% it's in the background, and the final 5% it's the visualization of that data. Okay, so I've added a Zero BI table here. What I'll do is just add my actuals and let's say previous year. Or actually, let's do plan. Okay, and then I'll add a account, actually account group and account. Okay, this is your regular income statement, right, that you see. But usually, so what we offer, of course, in Zero BI tables is different kinds of visualization. Even if it's called tables, you can have a chart in it. And what you saw with charts, that you have different views, you can have the same with tables. You can go with traditional one, because as I said, the same thing as Excel still has place in the reporting. Also Power BI, if you have a nice, neat table like this, if you just have the numbers because the financial people are used to look in the number, that's fine. You can use it, and we offer that option. A better option would be to have the income statement visualized, okay? To visually see the difference that each element of the report brings to the end result. Now, we do this with waterfall chart here, and I will have to add some calculations to it. Now it's just a waterfall chart, and we don't really see what's going on here, but we develop an option to. So we have two options basically. You can do it manually. So this revenue is basically a result, and this operating expenses is a result. So if I right click, I have all these options here. And if I have result here, it will put all the previous elements to a result and then continue from here on. But what I can also do is go to my accounts table. Accounts, yeah, I'm already here. And there is a, okay, let me go back. There is a placeholder here that's called category class. Okay, and what that means is that you can predefine in your data what a specific account or account group means. Is it a result? Is it a cost? We see costs here, and that should be into negative. So we have a minus sign here, and you can assign a category class to each element. And when you go back to Power BI, if I add this field to my category class, this will be done automatically for you. So you'll see exactly how each element continues to the final result, which is the net income. So revenue is in the positive, and then COGS is in the negative. And you'll see this by going down, and then you have expenses going down again, and so on. And then you come to the net income. Good. Besides that, you have plan. Are you above plan, below plan, which is really important. And again, you can take action from this report. Okay, good. Any questions about financial statements? Maybe, or anything else? How do the PCA? I'm sorry, but I don't understand the question. There's a lot of abbreviations here, and you'll have to specify it a little bit. Sorry, that's probably on my side, my uneducated side. Okay, if that is all financial terms, you'll have to specify this a little bit. Okay, so means dynamic comments user needs to enter, and those are not able to right-click, write back dedicated SharePoint. User needs to enter. Yeah, so it's not a write back for now. We're also working on that with Microsoft. There was a good reason for that. So Zebra BI visuals are Microsoft certified. One of the key elements of Microsoft certification is that, and also a big part of security, is that no data can leave the visual. So not a byte of data can leave a visual. On each certification process, when we submit a new version, Microsoft custom visual team, before certifying it, they check if there are any data leakage, and then they certify it. Without that, we can't have it certified. And a lot of companies have a hard restriction to only use certified visuals, which is understandable. If you use uncertified visuals, yes, a vendor may say no data is leaving the visual, but you don't have any guarantees because it's not certified. So you have to be careful a little bit about that. Okay. Any other questions? No. Okay. Good. Oh, and let me just remind you. So the question in the meantime is just for me to get a little bit of breather before I continue. Any questions that you will ask and will remain unanswered, we'll answer it after the. If not in the Q&A session, you'll get an answer after a day or two when we gather all the questions, and we'll send it to you. Send the answer to you. Okay, yeah, I can see a comment. We're using certified visuals only. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. It's a smart way to use visuals, only certified. Okay. Okay, I see another question, Leon. The screen share is paused on myself. Still see the demo tab. Yeah, hopefully everybody can see the demo. Liam, if you maybe you can log off and log in again. That has happened in the past. Okay, another question. Write back is not working. It's not that it's not working. It's not technically possible to have it in certified visual. There are some ways to do it, probably with Power Apps. So you go outside the visuals, and we also have a nice article for that in the knowledge base. So how to deal with how to write back comments in the Power Apps. Just not utilizing, of course, Zebra BI Visual because it's impossible to write back there, but using the Power Apps. I'll let Mattia dig out that article in knowledge base and send it to you. Okay, good. So this was the income statement. So I've created so basically in half an hour, I've shared with you what's the essence of Zebra BI visuals and what is the essence of Zebra BI reporting. And now we're moving, and we saw a demo how easy it is to create everything. And now we'll move through the stack. So what can you do in Power BI, and what can you do with other Zebra BI products? So in Excel and at the end AI. Good. So let me find that Excel demo. Okay, that's the one. Good. Okay. So now what we see here is a enhanced version of what you saw in Power BI. Okay, let me just see. Do you all see Excel in my or we're still in Power? I will reshare the screen. Okay, sorry for that. Sometimes this software for webinars are just freezing. Okay, screen share. Let's try again, and thank you for letting me know. Okay, there we go. I can see Excel. Perfect. Mattia is nodding here and giving me thumbs up, so everything is fine. Good. Okay, so like I said, what you see here is a enhanced version of what we had in Power BI. Enhanced in a way that we have different measures. So before we had Power BI and in Power BI we had previous year or plan, and now we just added more measures with the plan, previous year, and forecast. What we also did is restructure the columns a little bit. So when you read the report, remember reading from left to right usually, you'll see what's going on for a specific account. So revenue, you go from left to right. So what was it previous year? How does it compare to actual? Depends. How is it compared to actual from the previous year? In absolute and relative terms, you have the actual, you have the plan, and then at the end, you have the forecast. So of course, and this is all done in Zebra BI add-in for Office, where you have the same possibilities like in Power BI. And you can click to sort, you can switch columns around if you wish. That's all available in Power BI as well. Good. Okay, and now, so what do we usually do with Power BI or Excel reports? We present it to someone, and probably we're using PowerPoint to present. That's why we created the same app add-in in PowerPoint. Did I say Power BI before? I think I said Power BI. It's in Power. Of course, you present in PowerPoint. Okay, so when you go to the PowerPoint, okay, I'll just put it not. Oh, it did. Okay, it did update. Perfect. Okay, so the same thing happened here, right? So you present a report in PowerPoint. That's good. That's the same report that we've seen before, but with a little bit of difference. Now, I've only added plan and forecast data later on, which means it's not yet picked up in PowerPoint. So I had my account group, I had my actual values and a previous year value from Power BI, the same way I had it in Power BI, but then in Excel, without having to go to our database and write it there, I can do some ad hoc reporting in Excel. And that's why I said Excel still have its place, because you can do this ad hoc reporting really quick. I've added my plan and forecast, and as I did that, my visual or add-in automatically updated here. Okay, and I can also have that in my PowerPoint. Okay, let's just wait for the screen to update. Okay, I have it here. And how do I do that? So we'll go to Zebra BI menu. We'll go to data table, and we can see that, but we can also connect our Excels to our PowerPoint. So everything you do in Excel, you don't have to repeat it in PowerPoint, but you just connect the data with Excel, so Excel link. And when I click refresh data, hopefully I will be updated with two more columns, and I have. And when I close it, I have the same report in PowerPoint. So even ad hoc reporting on the spot of presentation, let's say an executive says, okay, but what if our plan is, twice as much as this is? You enter the number, you enter it in PowerPoint, in PowerPoint, and you get those numbers there. That's pretty neat, right? Another thing I forgot to mention is that the ability to have I should say, basically one source of truth. And one source of truth means that you only have one source for data, either be in Power BI, right? Or in Excel. So how do you do that? How do you leverage? And of course, if you go to insert and insert a pivot table, you have the option to choose the Power BI. So that way you will have the same data in Power BI as you do in Excel and then in PowerPoint. And this is really important to get that one source of truth, get the PowerPoint going, the Power BI data set going in Office, in Excel, create a report here, then just share it to PowerPoint. Good. Okay. I hope that was clear. And of course, we also have both visuals available here. This is tables. So if I add charts, you'll see another cool thing that we have. I think I have it here, Zebra BI charts. If you put it on an empty Excel sheet, you will get the chart selector to see the capabilities of Zebra BI charts. So basically, you decide what you want to showcase. Let's say doesn't really matter, a bread chart. And when you click on it, you will get a demo data, and you can change it right here. And have it reflect immediately in the visualization. Okay. Yeah, and that's it. So that's how you know how to structure your data, trying to display different chart types. And also here you have different chart types. You can switch it over if you want. You have the comments, which can be added, directly into the table, like you see here. If I add a fourth comment, this doesn't make sense, but yeah, it doesn't. You'll see it right away on the add-in. Good. I think that was it. Do we have any questions about Office, our Office products? Okay. How can I add a comment to calculated line items in the table, such as net income? Yeah, okay. So I think I already showed you here. So you have a comment section. Important to know that if you go to our fields, you have a dedicated comments placeholder. So you can just place this field here. From table to the visual, it will get automatically. Let me show you. I will add another chart, or I'll add another table this time. Okay, CEO Zebra BI table. I'll add another one. So I'll go with hierarchical tables like this, and you have a comment here, and I'll go with comment 3, and you just add it, and it will show up here. Again, talking about the data fields, you can see that we automatically recognize category, group, and business unit. So the text fields and the measures, which is actual and plan, we automatically recognize different acronyms, so PL, budget, plan, and so on. So this will get recognized automatically. If not, if this one is placed in a different placeholder, you can always switch over, right? If needed. Good. Any other questions? How was the table imported into PowerPoint? Oh, good question. Sorry. Let me try and do that. Oops. This is my presentation. Okay. So how are we on time? Okay, 15 minutes left. I guess this will be enough. Okay, you can, we'll insert a new slide. I will go to, help me out here. Okay, if somebody knows, let me know because I forgot where it is. Oh, it's here, it's Power BI. Oof, I was getting a little bit worried there that they changed something. So insert Power BI. Okay, and that will take you to all your reports. You can find that more on here, but let's take something from my financial statement. Now from Excel. Was that a page? Mattia, can you help me out again? Okay, just waiting for Mattia to find the question. Okay, how do you import it? Yeah, that was it. So that's how important from Power BI. Sorry, from Office. From Office, we imported it. Okay, I'll do it again here. If I take a new slide and I insert my tables, again, I'll go to the add-in. Why is it not here? Of course it's not here because we're going live. That's why it's not here. So I'll have to go to my Microsoft Store, which of course takes unusual amount of time because we're live. Okay, awkward silence, but we'll wait a little bit. Anyway, if this doesn't go through, it's the same way as you did in Excel. Okay, get more apps, search Zebra BI, find it here. Okay, tables for Office, click on it, open. There you go. Once you have it, you can link data to Excel, and then you can link the data to your OneDrive or to your SharePoint. So it has to be online because the visuals, again, the security part of it, we cannot read anything from your local drive. We can only read what's happening on the SharePoint or OneDrive. So that's really important. Okay, good. Any other questions? No? Okay, good. Now the last part of our demonstration, I'll go to that AI part, which I promised before. Zebra BI AI. Now the same, I'll just wait for the screen to catch up. Okay, I did. So the same thing as before with Excel and with Power BI. It's important to have a single source of truth. So that's why you can connect to your Power BI model. You can also upload an Excel file, or you can link to any database you'd like. I think we support, all the SQL and data lakes and so on. I think so. And okay, Databricks, SQL, Postgre, and this is added, daily because it's an active product. If you're missing an integration, let us know, and we'll make sure to add it. Good. So what Zebra BI AI does for you is getting rid of creating all the reports. So it will save you a ridiculous amount of time. And what I'll do here is, so you have stories here. And what I'll do is, so you can have different stories like in chat, GPT, you're already used to that. And you can add the stories, and I'll add one now, and I'll connect to Power BI, my workspace, regional performance. Click yes. And this will load the data. And the model will already try to understand the data. You can give it some instructions, which is totally optional. You can just let it do its thing. And dashboard instructions. So data model instructions. This data set shows our sales. The key measure is gross profit. So it will focus on the things that you would say, and also dashboard instructions. If you would like specific things to see, you can point that out, and it will of course take that into consideration. If not, we learn our model from our templates and everything, so it already knows. It's actually quite good to recognize, and it knows what you need. Okay, and if I click here, analyze data, it will give you pretty much the same experience as you had in Power BI. So it's already thinking, and it's already recognizing it. The data is from sales domain. It's likely about sales transaction across different states, channels, categories, and so on. Okay. And it will, of course, plan the dashboard. This will take, of course, some time. And everything goes slow today. So we'll just wait a little bit, maybe take a question or two in the meantime. Okay, maybe not, because we're already done. Okay, it automatically recognized what you have in your data. And first, what it did, it applied filters, because it knows you have a date or a date column, and it automatically created filters for years, for months, because you have that information. It also created a month-to-date and year-to-date set of measures, which you can switch with a filter, right? So this is a cumulative change over year-to-date, and this is of course, month-to-date. You can add new filters on any data you have, and you can also add different charts and tables and so on. And the best thing about this is not only presenting the visual. These visuals are interactive. So you can create the same look and feel that you have in Power BI. You can have it explained, right? What data is behind it, to see what prompt the visualization of this, of this chart. Okay, you can add some data configuration the same way that you saw in Power BI and in Office, right? Which is previous year and so on. And then visual settings, so you can switch from tables to from charts to tables if it suits you, and also use a vertical chart. What you can do, so, and of course, if we can, okay, let's just switch maybe to tables here, and I can sort from how it's supposed to be, right? From January to December, or I want to know which month is the best performing. And what I can also do here is use a right click the same way as I did before. So it's no limitation what you did in Power BI, you can also do it here, and use a little bit of top N action. So I only want to see a top N, so top 5 months in AC. Go with 5, click OK, and yeah, voila, that will be displayed for you. And everything else is bundled into others. Okay, and you can freely switch from one to another. Okay, you also have your summary, you have your advice. So it already knows, tries to recognize what you should do. The business should further investigate the factors that led to the significant cost reduction in June and determine if this strategy can be applied consistently throughout the year. Okay, so it recognized the costs were low in June and gives you a tip what you can do. Like I said, you'll save a lot of time. Try this Zebra AI out. I really recommend it. Probably a lot of companies are saying it's not And a lot of companies are using AI today. But this one, I think, and we know that for a fact, that it's probably the best reporting tool, AI reporting tool on the market right now, including Microsoft and all the big companies. We're pretty confident in that. If you want to present that, you can share the story to your colleagues, or you can download it or export it to PowerPoint, and I'll do this right away. Okay, and it's already done. It's gone. Let's open the file. So I saw this question. All of these are separate services. So Zebra BI for Power BI, Zebra BI for Office, and Zebra BI AI is a service. If you want to buy a bundle, you can of course contact our sales team, and we'll make sure to get something going. Okay, I'll just enable editing, and it will export everything that we saw before, including a summary, a management summary, and also including all the right. It will already be here. Okay, that's it. So apart from that, for me, what's happening with AC in Central? Now I was swinging a little bit. I'm not sure what this will cause. Let's see. Central. This is true. Central. Okay, let's ask it. Okay, and now he will think a little bit. He will go through the data set. He or she, I don't know. It probably. So AI will go through everything and take a look at your data and try to figure out what's going on in the central, either by month, either by a or distributor channel down. Wholesale was down a lot from previous year. Export not so much, but still down. And also regional settings, right? We have U.S. states here. So something happening in Ohio. And again, you can take actions from that. And it was just a simple prompt in natural language. But it also gives you a thought process. So how it came to that specific number. Okay, really cool tool. Okay, we're almost up. Any questions? Okay, no. Okay, no additional questions, which is good. So we probably answered everything during the demo. Okay, that's how I like it. I will imagine I have answered everything, and you have absolutely no more question, and you're ready to buy, which is of course great. What I'll also do, I'll share another set of resources. Let me just go back to my presentation. I'll share my screen again. Okay, share. Okay, let's go forward with the presentation. Okay, again, knowledge base, I've mentioned it a couple of times. It's really important resource, really important. And take a look at the knowledge base. It's extensive. You'll probably get most of your questions answered there. If not, we're always available at support, like I said. Another really cool resource is the number one and probably only Actionable Report Academy that we created. So myself, our BI team, and everybody else here at Zebra wants you to do good with Zebra BI. So we've created a academy which will take you from basically step one in Power BI, how to import your data, how to create a star schema, how to manage your data model, how to create your visuals, and everything else that you need to know. Right now, we're up to about more than 30 videos, and they get coupled with examples, so Power BI examples, Power BI files, which you can download and see what we did in the academy. Good. Other resources, onboarding page, help center, knowledge base, like I said, templates, another really good one. If you want to see what we did, you saw a couple of reports that I had, sales dashboard, finance dashboard. Go to that templates webpage and see what else we did. So it's not only sales, it's not only finance. You can utilize Zebra AI visuals across multiple areas, right? And you'll see that in the templates. Just sales and finance are the most common, so that's why we presented in the demo. Okay, webinars besides the live demos, which is one right now. We also have webinars. I think one is scheduled for September 3rd, if I'm not mistaken. There is a ribbon on our website. If you go on zebrabi.com, there is a ribbon there, and you always see our next event. And of course, you have the Zebra AI link here as well, which will be shared. And I'm staring at a blank page right now, which means that I guess this is the end of demo. I'm guessing we don't have any additional questions. Maybe we have, maybe we don't. We'll just wait. Okay, another question. If I have data for last 6 years, is there an option to forecast the data for upcoming 6 months? Zebra BI visuals. You can do that. You can do that in Zebra BI. So we don't do predictive analysis in Power BI because it's not. You have to decide the parameters, right? And you can do that in Office products. Like I've added the forecast. You can add that with really nice formulas and everything that Excel supports. Basically, you can have numbers from everywhere and calculate that forecast line. You can go in Office, calculate the forecast there, and see. You can also prompt Zebra AI to give you forecast, and that will predict on itself based on the last 6 years of data. And also you can correct it and see if you're too optimistic, you can have different scenarios. So tell Zebra BI, I want to be really optimistic about it. I want to follow, the growth in the last 6 years, or I want to be pessimistic because of, how market is right now. So you can prompt it that way and it will deliver. So we just tried it a couple of days ago, and yeah, it does work. It works beautifully. Good. Any other questions? Probably no. I see Mattia already thanking you, everybody, to join, and I will do the same. So thank you so much. And the questions were amazing. I will familiarize myself with all the finance abbreviations. That question, I didn't understand it, but we'll answer it tomorrow. See what you mean, and then we'll get you the answer. So thank you so much again. Thank you, Mattia, in the background for moderation of the chat and for links. And I wish you all a good day.